Hello, hello. Welcome to the Cash Madam. Today, I will be talking about one of my favorite authors, Brene Brown, and her work on men, women, and worthiness and the gender related to it. She had this very interesting point where she talked about the roles that men and women have that make them feminine and make them masculine. And I'm going to be honest, I have always struggled with the classical definition of what masculinity and femininity are and are considered in today's society. When one, I realized that the color pink is a manufactured female color. Considering 100 years ago, I think the rumor is that they were switched, meaning blue was for girls and pink were for men, or that they were not gendered at all. And it was just a clever marketing tool to turn pink into every woman's color. The other one I came across was reading about the UK Prime Minister Disraeli and his relationship with the Queen, which was not taken very favorably. However, one of his criticisms was that he was a dandy, he was always well dressed, and that he was considered effeminate because he preferred to negotiate rather than go out for outright war. And I find that interesting because in today's society, the ability to be level headed and show emotional restraint and use your critical thinking is now considered a masculine trait. And the emotional outbursts are considered feminine. The crying, the fighting, the just can't control yourself. So ever since then, I started questioning what is considered feminine and what is considered masculine and how society frames that. In Brene Brown's work, she said that for women, the definition, at least in the United States, is thin, nice, and modest, meaning humble, quiet, not braggy, and that you would use all your resources towards your appearance. And that I found very interesting, but I'm not surprised about that because that's just the subliminal messaging I get all the time. Some of these I fit, and some of those four I do not fit. And sometimes that makes me feel like I have to overplay the parts that I do fit. And considering that my MBTI has me as one of the more masculine types, I am irrational. It's just interesting how this works. Going on more on the femininity roles and the shame that surrounds it is that for women, the number one shame is about appearance, how you look, if you're perfect. And the key here is perfection. And more on the perfection is that you have to not be seen breaking a sweat. You have to do it all and look perfect while you're doing it. So, the housewife with the 5 kids and the job, and your hair cannot be out of place, your lipstick cannot be smudged. I wonder about the theory of if that is evolutionary necessary because of the dependence of the society, the community, maybe men, on being pleasing and perfect so that you will not be cast out. And so this was how women came up with ways to police themselves. Another thing she mentioned was with the shame messages for women, it is very conflicting because of this perfectionist web, in the sense that you must look confident, You must look perfect, but you must be confident. You must speak up, but you must not hurt anybody's feelings. You must stand up for yourself, but you must not disappoint anyone at the same time. So it's a lot of push pull, and I would say in the modern society, it's the idea of like superwoman, the woman who works but is the perfect homemaker at the same time, and you are magically able to do all these things at the same time. That's very interesting. Now going, so that's my notes for this piece of Brene Brown's masculinity and femininity and how shame arranges itself around genders. Thank you for listening to me. This is the Cash Madame. Have a great rest of your day.